Good morning.
Good morning.
You look like Roberta. Did you do that on purpose?
No.
I was like, ooh, she dressed up a little bit.
No, I didn't, but that's perfect, actually.
What are you drinking?
I'm having a cold brew with Chobani cookie butter and some whipped cream
Ooh.
and a little bit of sprinkles.
I wonder if my Target has the cookie butter because I want to go get some.
Definitely. I don't even know if I like it, though.
Good morning, Wednesday. I'm having a maple brown sugar latte. And it's so good. It's the perfect color. I had Starbucks over the weekend, and I haven't had Starbucks in a long time, and I didn't remember or realize that it's basically just milk. If they told me that there was no espresso in it, I would believe it.
You also had to have it out of necessity because you were at an airport, so.
Yeah, at an airport and a convention. And I was like, okay, the convention girlies like that work here are not making it right. And then the airport was like that too. And I was like, nasty.
Yeah, I don't drink Starbucks.
And there were other girls in the airport and their coffees were the right color. And I was like, oh, okay, it's going to be right. And it wasn't. So maybe I need to order something else if I have to go to Starbucks.
Maybe they're getting cold brew or an extra shot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, welcome back to my sister's favorite movie. I'm your host and big sister, Maggie. I'm joined here by my little sister, Emily. It's an early morning. It's 7:30 a.m. And we're here to discuss the 1995 girlhood coming-of-age classic, Now and Then. Emily, I have a question for you. Is this the best movie co-starring Rosie O'Donnell, Rita Wilson, and Gabby Hoffman? Or would that be Sleepless in Seattle?
For me, this one, like that, I don't even have to think about that. For me, this one, like Sleepless in Seattle is not one of my faves. I've obviously seen it a couple times. It's not in my repertoire by any means. And this movie is that bitch. So I'm going to go Now and Then.
I have a double hitter for you in the same vein. Is this the best movie co-starring Christina Ricci and Devon Sawa? Or is that Casper?
I was thinking about that. I think
the girlies are not ready for your answer.
I like this movie better, but I know people are going to be gagged about that. But I do really like Casper, actually. But I like I watch this movie more than I watch Casper. However, I love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday, and I love Halloween movies. But that Casper isn't like in my annual must watch. You know,
and I was thinking about that. Okay, twofold. Sorry. I did not realize that that was him. And I was like, and when I was doing my research, I was like, that's him. And I had to do multiple pictures. I was like, this is not him. He's got baby face. And it was filmed around the same time. So I'm like, why does he look so different to me in the other one?
I was going on TikTok just to be like, I didn't want to do too much research because obviously this is your episode and I wanted you to surprise me with things. But I did look up on TikTok just what people were saying about the movie, and so much of what people post is like, oh my god, Devon Sawa, the girls aren't ready, young Devon Sawa, blah blah blah. And I was like, I don't know who that is. I know who it is, but I was like, I don't feel like these girls feel, but I'm younger, so I'm sorry. But then it also, every TikTok was like the movie that raised a generation of millennials. And it was like Now and Then.
Now and Then. Yeah, and I was thinking about it, how you were like, oh, Casper isn't in my annual rewatch. I also feel the same way. And I kind of feel like I missed something because that movie was for maybe a little bit older than me, but still my gen. And I'm like, why don't I have a better connection to Casper? I feel like I should. I have a better connection to Casper Meets Wendy with Hilary Duff.
I will say I was at a bar last fall and they were playing that on a TV. And I was like, okay, that's fun.
No, it's a good movie and it's Christina Ricci.
Yeah, I mean.
And Bill Pullman.
Who's that?
Okay. The dad. And isn't he in
He's in that
While
movie
You Were Sleeping?
While You Were Sleeping. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next week's pick.
Okay. The Treehouse was supposed to bring us more independence, but what the summer actually brought us was independence from each other. On this week's episode of My Sister's Favorite Movie, we are discussing Now and Then.
And it's crazy that you picked that quote because that was my favorite quote. And last night when I watched the movie, I was like, so good. That quote hits. That quote goes crazy.
Well, so the quote is interesting because it talks about we gained independence from each other. And I was like, well, aren't y'all like 12? Like, you still have like, I feel like a few more years before you're going to really be independent from each other. But then also through the whole movie, they're like, we only have each other. It's us against the world. Let's make a pact. We'll always take care of each other. So I was like,
but then they don't.
I feel
like they're all doing their own thing.
I feel like Samantha is just so emo her whole life that she's like, I want independence. And it's like, no, you want to be with your friends. You're just like drama. Okay.
I feel like she was going through it though. I don't know. She was going through it the whole movie. It was kind of tough.
Yeah. We'll get into that. Okay. Now and Then, released in 1995, based in the year 1970. It's set in Indiana, but it was filmed in, parts of it were filmed where I live in Savannah, Georgia, and Statesboro. And I think some of it might have been filmed in Indiana. Like, I feel like the information about this movie is scattered and unclear for me, at least.
I joke about this like not being Savannah, but then upon watching it again, I was like, oh yeah, I have been inside this neighborhood. This is Savannah for sure.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'm locked in. And then I'm just going to say this really quick. I looked on a Reddit thread of like people talking about the movie and whatever. And a girl on there was like, oh yeah, my dad like did something for the city of Savannah and was like on set during the filming of the movie. And they were like filming around Savannah. And she said that, which I was like, this, I don't know if this could be true. She was like, oh, Demi Moore was only on set for 1 day of filming. I was like, 1 day of filming? That feels like pretty fast. But
I guess 1 day for her in Savannah. It might have been like exterior shots in the neighborhood, like her going into the house and coming out for the birth and stuff or something.
That's true.
Yeah. So the neighborhood, the Gaslight Edition, is actually an offshoot neighborhood of Coffee Bluff Drive, which is like a neighborhood area here in Savannah. And I almost was going to drive to it, but it's kind of far. And I was like, what am I going to do? I'm going to be like, oh yeah, this sort of looks like
Go over there and film a TikTok.
And funny, like, little side note, like, this subdivision that they filmed in is, I think it's like a cul-de-sac or just like a one street kind of little neighborhood. But it was built in like the 80s and 90s. So the houses historically are incorrect for the time period. Fun fact.
Oh, it works. It's fine. That's crazy, though. I was like not even thinking about what time period we were technically in. But yeah, the 70s.
Yeah. Weird. The film was directed by Leslie Linka Glatter and written by Marlene King. So
shout out Marlene King, writer of Pretty Little Liars.
I know that was going to be one of my facts.
Oh, I know. Trust me, I know. Because literally every time I watch Now and Then, I'm like Marlene King, like on her shit from day one, writing about girlhood and spooky towns. Like she has a niche. She knows what she likes. Because Pretty Little Liars, like it's like this. It's like this vibe.
Love. So she knows how to write girlhood. So this is my movie of the week because it's iconic. It's that end of summer feeling. Like we're almost to the end of summer. And I'm not going to step on the toes of like the vibes are immaculate and stuff like that. But like This movie is just good. And if you were a girl in the 90s and early 2000s, like, you do not ride your bike with your girlfriends without thinking about this movie. And if you do, I feel bad for you. You need to watch this movie.
I think this movie was on Netflix, and I feel like it didn't get like as much of its flowers as it should have, but I feel like it's so good. The casting is crazy. Like, it really is like a star-studded cast, especially like looking back now. Like, the child actors they got, it's kind of crazy. Like, those are like Thora Birch, Christina Ricci, and Gabby Hoffman are like three of the biggest child stars. Like, they're in like the biggest movies that children were in at the time. And then obviously the adults are all like mega celebs. So it's kind of crazy they pulled this cast together. This is also one of my favorite movies. I do love this movie. And it hits like summer. The soundtrack hits. I like that it's Savannah.
I know. So Savannah, I'm like, okay, Coffee Bluff, Drive, nah. That could just be Nowheresville, anywhere in America. But then, like, I was able to be like, oh, yeah, they're outside of Colonial Cemetery, which is in downtown historic area of Savannah. Like, if you ever come to Savannah, it's not Bonaventure, like the super, like, spooky moss overgrown one with the bird girl that you see everywhere in Savannah. The one they go to in this movie is Colonial Cemetery, which is in the heart of the historic district. And you can see
I was
like,
thinking it was Bonaventure.
Well, when they come out after like their final time in the cemetery, you can see the long cobblestone sidewalk, and they're out in front of the gates when she picks the flowers to take to Dear Johnny.
When they're at the diner and they're doing like the Cosmo quiz and they see Sam's mom walk by, isn't that the library? Like outside the library?
I don't think that's in... It might be. I don't know if that's in Savannah.
I thought that was like the Bull Street Library.
It could be, but I feel like not this rewatch, but like when I watched it several months ago, I was like, what parts of Savannah is this? And I was looking it up and I was like, oh, a lot of it was filmed like further north. In Statesboro type
It
stuff.
does like look like Savannah though. Like even if it's like certain parts of it aren't Savannah, I could be like, well, that could be like this. Like it looks like this. And I'm almost surprised they didn't just set it like in Savannah, but I guess Indiana sounds very like how they're like being like it's such a safe town and nothing happens here and it's so quiet. Like I feel like Indiana does have that like very like landlocked, off doing its thing. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Not a lot going on. No offense to anyone in Indiana. Sorry.
And I can't remember what town in Indiana. It was supposed to be. It started with like a W, and that's on them because they did not want their name mentioned in the movie. So they came up with like an alternative name for the city because they did film in some parts of the town that the movie is set in. And they were like, we don't want to be part of it.
How weird to be like, we're going to film in Savannah, Statesboro, and Indiana. Like the town that it's in. Like it's weird that they couldn't figure it all out in one place.
If they filmed it now, the whole thing would be filmed here.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, or like you said, star-studded cast.
Insane.
Christina Ricci of like Addams Family fame at this point. Thora Birch. Hello, Hocus Pocus. So we have two Halloween icons.
Two spooky queens in our midst.
Gabby Hoffman, who was in Sleepless in Seattle. She's the little girl who's helping the little boy get out of Seattle and to Manhattan. And then Ashley Aston Moore, who plays Chrissy, is Canadian. She passed away kind of young. She doesn't have a lot of movies or anything that I recognize, but I think in this time period she was making stuff and then kind of fell off the Hollywood track.
Yeah.
And then the adult versions, we have Melanie Griffith, Demi Moore, Rosie O'Donnell, and Rita Wilson.
I feel like Melanie Griffith is the craziest one of the four. Like, that's crazy casting to me. Like, I feel like she was huge at the time.
Well, she was coming off of Working Girl. People loved her in that movie.
Yeah.
And then Demi Moore was like the sex pot, beautiful lady of this time. Rosie O'Donnell, iconic lady. And Rita Wilson, famously married to Tom Hanks.
Like, it's such an ensemble cast that it's surprising that they were able to secure all 4 of them. And that actually brings me to a question I wanted to ask you before we jump into the rest, which is Roberta the lead character?
No, I think to me, I think it's supposed to be Samantha because she does the voiceover through the whole thing. And I feel like...
Oh, that's true.
I feel like it's almost... Is she writing a book about that summer in 1970? Is that like...
She could write a good book about that summer. See, I feel like, I guess you're right. Samantha definitely is the lead in that way, like the narrator. But I feel like Christina Ricci, Roberta, is the leader of the friend group. Like, she's the one who keeps the friend group together forever.
Yeah, I feel like she is the... Well, it's also like, is that just because we like Christina Ricci and Rosie O'Donnell so much?
No, also, because I think by the time they get older, like...
She's the connecting thread.
She couldn't have...
Between all of them.
Yeah, they wouldn't have been able to stay friends without her because Chrissy is too on one end of the spectrum for the other girls to have stayed close to her, and Roberta's right in the middle and still living near the town to be able to keep everyone together.
But also on the other hand, Chrissy, adult Chrissy, is the one calling them in the beginning and being like, we made a pact, you better be here, I'm having a baby. And they show up.
Yeah. But I think Roberta's like on their ass.
Yeah. That was going to be my other quote. So here I am driving back to my childhood home in Indiana, a place I could tell you I never wanted to see again. When she's driving and she's got all the cigarettes she's putting out.
It's so good. It's so drama.
Okay, so the Amazon synopsis of this movie. You know how we love our streaming services synopsis. Ready?
Yeah.
Nostalgic treehouse fun with Christina Ricci.
I saw that. I was like,
that sent me. 4 12-year-old girls grow up together during an eventful small-town summer in 1970. Nostalgic treehouse fun with Christina Ricci.
Nostalgic treehouse fun with Christina Ricci, like, fair enough. And that was like some AI slop. Like, they put the movie into Gemini and they were like, describe. And it was like, Christina Ricci treehouse summer fun. Like, that's all. Well, it's about all we got.
The craziest thing is they don't get the treehouse until the end.
I know, but they're in it the whole time. They go to it
fun
a lot.
For 5 minutes at the end of summer. Okay.
Wait, I wanted to pull up the cover of the movie because it also said something. The cover of the movie says, a summer when 4 friends made a promise to return anytime they needed each other. That time has come. Isn't that tea?
That's fucking tea. And then also, it's been 10 years since Teeny and Samantha have returned.
Insane.
Their friends haven't needed them in 10 years.
Also, how old are we?
I feel like they're supposed... Oh, shit. I feel like they said something and I was like, okay, they're supposed to be like 30, 32, something like that.
Well, they obviously don't look 30. I'm so sorry. They all look 40.
No, well, that's because you can't unsee. Like, they're definitely in their 30s.
That's not... Well, also, that's from today's lens. Like, respectfully, I actually didn't recast this movie, but they would cast, like, Margot Robbie. You know?
How old is Demi Moore in now? She was 32.
She looks the youngest of the 4.
Okay. Well, I also just... Let's see. We must know. I also feel like it's just... They look like mom, you know? Rosie O'Donnell was 33.
Oh.
So she was younger than me.
Wow, the 30s were hard. The 30s were rough.
No, it's because when you were little, they looked so old, and now it's just like they're always going to look old. Melanie Griffith was 38. And then Rita Wilson was 38.
Oh. Okay. Never mind.
So
I take back what I said.
In their 30s.
Melanie Griffith looks the best in the movie. She's slaying.
Well,
she's serving.
Something that hit me yesterday when I was watching at the end of the movie when they're all in the treehouse and they're talking and they show each of their faces. I'm like, they're all just so beautiful to me. It's like, ugh. And I don't know. They just all look like beautiful ladies of the 90s. Like when I was a little girl and like would see mom and like all the grown-ups. I was like, you're all so beautiful.
So
you
glamorous.
have pretty hair and clothes and the makeup. Just so pretty, all of them.
Also, them at the end is just lovely.
Yeah.
Like they all look so lovely.
Okay, so I also did my own synopsis of this movie because I looked at other synopses and none of them satisfied me. Even the back of the VHS box was just like, it was just like a name drop instead of being like what the movie's about.
They love to do that.
Okay, 4 twin girls spend the summer seancing in cemeteries, trying to solve murder mystery, and trying to sort through their own individual personal hells. Then grow up to be Demi Moore and Rosie O'Donnell.
That's crazy.
That's it.
Okay,
like
name
none
drop.
of them mention like anything that happened over the summer. I'm like, well, that's what they're doing. Okay.
I think that's good. They definitely do be seancing. They paint the garage. They go in the treehouse. They ride their bikes.
Not everyone paints the garage.
Yeah, shout out to
Looking at you, Chrissy.
Mm-mm.
Get off your ass, eat your Twinkie, and paint at the same time. They could have knocked out, with the 4 of them, they could have knocked out that garage door in 10 minutes.
No, it would have been over.
The inefficiency of painting this garage door, y'all could have done the whole neighborhood and paid for that.
No, they could have been done.
Damn
Also,
treehouse.
like, yeah, they could have painted all of the houses for $10 each and then bought their treehouse immediately.
Okay. Box office. Although the film received unfavorable reviews upon release, it was a box office success. Yeah, another movie that just kind of like didn't hit. But you know, it's also because I feel like older men were running the show on movies in this time period.
And they fucking hate women. It was all just like, every movie we've watched has been poorly reviewed, and it's because men hate women. And women hate women sometimes.
Yeah. Well, especially during that time period when women were trying to appeal to men and get men's jobs or whatever. The movie had a $12 million budget, but it grossed $37.5 million. So it was a success, but it's considered a cult classic these days. So I'm just kind of like,
what time
I
of
feel
year
like
did
it's
it come out?
October.
Oh, okay.
So it might have hit even more if it came out like June, but it came out in October.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think you saw this movie in theaters as a bambino?
No, I don't think so. I think that it's rated PG-13, but I was just a little girl. I wonder if mom saw it.
That's what I mean. If she took you like in the stroller,
maybe
because you would have been 3. And then, do you remember the first time you watched this movie?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
No, but I don't remember a time not seeing this movie. Like I always have known this movie, and you know it was hard to get your hands on this movie. I feel like it was always a treat when I watched it. It was like, where's that movie with the girls? It's summertime, and it was like, where's the VHS? Do we have the VHS, or is it on TV? I don't know. It was like always hard.
It was kind of elusive, and it actually continued to be elusive because I remember like. I feel like when I was in college, we couldn't access it. Like there was not like it wasn't on Amazon Prime, which is where I watched it for this rewatch. And then they like added it to Netflix. I remember I was like staying in a hotel and you called me and you were like, Now and Then is on Netflix. And I was like literally gagged because like we hadn't had access to be able to watch it. And I watched it in the hotel room. And I remember being like, obviously, as we know, like I don't do well with scary stuff. And I was alone. And I was like, oh yeah, this movie scares me actually. It didn't scare me as much on this rewatch, but like I think if I didn't watch it at night, late at night either time, but I think if I watched it late at night, I'd be scared.
Why?
Because of like the seances and stuff. And then it also just has like an eerie vibe.
Totally. I feel like the 70s in general just have an eerie vibe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you a hippie?
Roger Ebert. Huh?
You're a hippie, aren't you?
You're a trip. sexy Brendan Fraser. We'll get to him. Okay.
You're a trip.
So reviews, Roger Ebert, famous movie critic of the Chicago Sun-Times, criticized the story, saying it was made of artificial bits and pieces. So
of course he did.
Roger has let us down.
But he liked... What did he like? He liked one of the movies we watched.
He liked Uptown Girls.
Yeah.
And he liked something else, too, that we were both surprised about.
I think he loosened up with age, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a little later in his career. He was a little fired up in the 90s.
And a New York Times 2020 article titled, Now and Then at 25, Girlhood Finally Taken Seriously. Lana Kaplan wrote, Now and Then was ahead of its time for giving the complexities of girlhood a weight that coming-of-age films had heretofore typically neglected. The film showed tween girls as fully realized characters who weren't written off or secondary. Tackling death and grief, along with budding sexuality, gave their stories weight when narratives about female adolescence were often surface level. That's from the New York Times, baby, but it's in 2020. So I had seen some other things, and it was just a regurgitation of everything else we've seen, like back in the 90s, people being like, it's fluff, this is stupid, this would be great for little girls to watch. And it's like, we've got a star-studded cast here.
This is such a movie that would hit like an adult woman, especially.
Well, that's why I wondered if when Mom watched it, because Mom would have been around this age of them when this came out. And if she was like, ugh, this is what growing up in the 70s was like.
Like, probably. Wait, there was something I was going to say. Oh, it's so interesting that it was written in 2020 because I feel like every like outlet at the time, it was just so much like revisiting this film. Because that's when I was at the Cut and I wrote that thing about like Sister because it was right when Sister had been added to Netflix and like everyone was watching it. And then we also, while I was there, someone else did a story about like the Brandy Cinderella, the Whitney Houston Brandy Cinderella, because that wasn't available to stream at the time. And it was like, when are we going to get the Cinderella movie? And then like Disney Plus added it. And I feel like every outlet was doing just like revisiting iconic movies because that's what everyone was doing during COVID. Like, it's such a sign of the times. I feel like you'd see less of like obviously there are like Princess Diaries just had its anniversary and there's like retrospectives everywhere talking about that. But I feel like some movies and shows that maybe wouldn't have gotten as much coverage were getting covered because it was like COVID.
Yeah.
Obviously COVID sucked, but that's like a fun symptom of it.
Yeah. Like maybe Lana Kaplan was sitting at home and she was like, oh shit, it's 25 years since this movie came out. I'm gonna write about it.
I love it.
Okay, so now we're going to move into How She Got Made. I already touched on some of my How She Got Made facts, like the casting and the director. Oh, I have a fun casting one. So Chrissy was originally offered to Kirsten Dunst. But...
Oh, it would have been another repeat.
Another repeat. But, wait, what was she in?
Twilight Zone. Tower of Terror.
Oh, God! Why are they all in that movie? What's with the star-studded cast of the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror?
I know.
So Kirsten Dunst was offered the part of Chrissy, but she turned it down because she said it was not worth ruining her figure for. Because they wanted her to gain 20 pounds.
Oh, I don't know what to make of that.
Interesting, right? And I'm kind of like...
How old was she?
I guess 95. When did Little Women come out? Because she was a little girl. Ugh,
I don't think you can do that to a little girl. I don't think any actor, they shouldn't have to change their weight for a role. Like, there's so many other solutions. Also, like...
So Kirsten Dunst would have been like 11 when they were filming this movie.
No, you can't tell an 11-year-old... No.
I know.
No. You can't tell an 11-year-old to gain or lose weight for a role unless they're an unhealthy weight. Then they can have that talk with their provider. But like, this is unacceptable. You can't tell an 11-year-old they have to gain 20 pounds for a movie role.
I know. That had me thinking. I was like, that could set up a person for unhealthy eating habits for the rest of their life.
For the rest of their life. And I'm sure, and it definitely has. I don't know I know a little bit because I read about it, but like the person who played Chrissy, like I don't know that in depth of her journey, but I can imagine her and then any child actor who played this type of role, like that shit's instilled in you. Like her whole half of her character is about her weight and what she's eating the whole movie. Like if that's the role you're playing at a like young age when your brain is being formed, you're just going to think that about yourself and think like that's setting up how you think, even though it was a character.
It probably,
like, that probably affected her the rest of her life.
Agreed. And it probably made the people around her feel comfortable to probably talk to her the way the people talk to her in this movie about how she eats.
I was thinking that. I was like, was this a good vibe on set? Like I can see where like Thora, Christina Ricci, and Gabby Hoffman probably were friends, and then Chrissy might have been left off. I don't know that for sure, but I don't know see either where that could have happened. But maybe they were all besties, because I hope.
Yeah, because like the other three are definitely giving like cool girl vibes, like super cool girl. And I saw an interview on TikTok from this movie's press release, and it was Christina Ricci and Gabby Hoffman being interviewed together, and they were like the quintessential like moody cool 90s girls. And like the interviewer, I think I've heard her in it's like an older lady, and I think it might have been the same lady that I talked about interviewing Brittany Murphy and her friend in Uptown Girls.
Oh yeah.
And I think it might be her, but I'm not sure because I didn't see her. But she's like, would you rather be a teen in the 90s now or a teen in the 70s? And they were like, I would never want to be a teen in the 70s because like they were just so naive, and like they couldn't talk about the stuff we talk. Like it was super like I'm a grown up, and like and they just had like all black on, and they had their dark hair, and I was just like, oh, y'all are definitely leaning into like the moody 90s girls.
It was so fun to watch though. But they probably were cool. Like forced to be adults at that age because they'd both been in, like,
that's the thing,
major motion pictures.
Yeah, agreed. And I think Christina Ricci was 15 in this movie. I'm not sure about Gabby Hoffman. I think she might be like a little bit younger.
Gabby Hoffman looks younger. I feel like Thora Birch and Christina Ricci were like maybe a little older.
I think so too.
Okay, tell me more about how she got made.
You already tapped on the Pretty Little Liars thing. Is it Marlene King?
I think that's what she went by at that time, and now is just Marlene King. Cool. Because I think on Pretty Little Liars, it just says Marlene King.
Okay. So she wrote Pretty Little Liars, and she said it was heavily influenced by Now and Then. She said like, she really kept Now and Then in mind. So you can see that.
Because they're biking everywhere. They're like in each other's bedrooms. They're like us against the parents kind of vibe, solving mystery. Like Pretty Little Liars is based on a book series, but it ends up, they change kind of the plot. But you can tell it's very like Now and Then inspired for sure.
And I don't have any of this written down, but I read about it the other day. She had talked about how she was either developing or approached to develop a Now and Then TV show. And she was like really into it, but they were like, oh, we want to make it the women are in the present day and the girls are in the 90s. And she was like, no, I want to keep it in the 70s and 90s because like I want them to have a 70s summer instead of a 90s summer, like with the budding of cell phones and stuff. She's like, I don't want that. Like she was like, I think it would change the vibes of the story. So that's interesting.
I can see that.
Okay. So another thing on how she got made. We've never really talked about test audiences before, but this movie got made. Roberta's character was originally a lesbian.
Okay.
And test audiences reacted negatively to the part. Yeah. They reacted negatively to Roberta being the obstetrician and helping Chrissy give birth.
That is so lame. Ew.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
So like apparently,
that.
like, it was just like, oh, uncomfortable. And then when that happened, like, people were like, oh, we hate the fact that she's her friend, she's a lesbian, and she's looking at her vagina and helping her give birth to this baby. Yeah. So.
Ew, no.
And it wasn't just one audience. It was like every test audience that they went through was doing that. So New Line Cinema removed the subtle queer coding. And
yeah, because they're like, she lives in blah, blah, blah with her boyfriend.
That was added in later. So that was like their retroactive, how are we going to fix it? She's living in sin with her boyfriend.
She's straight. It's funny
she's
because
straight.
That line, I'm always like, why does she say that? Why does she say it like that? Like, every time I hear that line, it's like, okay.
I was listening to, I read about a podcast that Rosie O'Donnell was on, like, in the recent years. And now I can't remember. Was it Rita Wilson's podcast? Was it somebody related to this? I can't remember. But she talked about how she didn't know that they were going to change it up, and she was really upset that they changed the character from being gay to straight.
Yeah, because also she's going through this in real time. Like, the judgment of her in the public eye and her sexuality. Because was she out then, or?
She was not out yet. And her agent, I think her agent was like, are you sure you want to take this movie and, like, be a gay character? You might out yourself. And she was like, I'm an actress. Like, I can play different parts. It's not saying I'm gay. It's the character's gay. So there was that. And then on a side note, it was interesting because she talked about how she believed her character in A League of Their Own was gay. I can't remember her name in that movie now. Fuck. But, and she said she always believed that her character would have been in love with her friend Madonna's character.
Madonna. That's what I always thought.
Yeah. But Penny Marshall, the director, Gary Marshall's sister.
Cousin. Oh,
sister. AKA his wife in the movie Hocus Pocus, was like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And it's like, not obviously, but it's just like, what's the problem? But in the recent reboot of A League of Their Own, Rosie O'Donnell is in it, and she plays a gay woman who I think they like. I only watched it once, but there's like one of those underground speakeasies for people to be freely themselves, and I think she's like at that bar and helps like another character like go through her stuff. But anyways,
is that movie set in the same time period as the original Now and Then?
Mm-hmm. League of Their Own?
Yeah. I mean, League of Their Own. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also the moment when Chrissy has her baby and she looks up at Roberta and Roberta's like, I love you. People were uncomfortable with that.
No,
she's gay.
It made me cry. I was like, imagine this. Imagine your and people have this. Plenty of people have this. And also, before I even get into this, yeah, she should be her doctor. It's the person who knows her health history probably better than anyone in the world. Also, she's a woman. It should always be I'm sorry to any male OBGYNs. With respect, I prefer a woman. Like, I'll always go to a female doctor. Literally, aside, but you can keep this in. One of my friends was just talking about that this weekend of like, you don't go to a male OBGYN unless the person that you go to has canceled and you have to go to the male. And then you try and cancel and then you go if you really have to. Like,
well, all the female doctors at my OBGYN office have left and like gone into concierge service. So now it's 3 guys. So I have to find something else.
See, that irks me. Anyway, so obviously your friend would be your doctor if it'd be an amazing doctor to you. Like, they know you better than anyone. She's a woman, so she understands and can be a more empathetic care provider. And then also the mental and emotional support of it. Like, this person who's known you since you were bambino, now delivering your baby. Like, how beautiful is that? People didn't like that. People are sick and twisted. And like, the sexuality of this, like, shouldn't have even been a question.
I agree. So yeah, so the character is gay. I feel like I've kind of always seen it through that lens. And I briefly saw a moment of this on the internet and did not dig further, but Christina Ricci apparently said that she also played the character, keeping in mind that she was gay. And I feel like, okay. So it was understood on set that this character is supposed to be gay. And then it got changed because of the audience test reviews.
And I feel like it would have been a more interesting journey for the character. Like, Christina Ricci obviously is going through a lot emotionally, doesn't have a mom, is surrounded by boys, is expected to be the more like tomboy-esque character because she has brothers. Like, I feel like there is like that assumption, but then like she kisses the boy. Like, I just feel like it was like it could have been like a summer of her beginning to understand her sexuality and being very confused, because I feel like a lot is being thrown at her without like a female figure in her life, being surrounded by boys, kissing this boy, not feeling like the same as her girlfriends about things. Like, I feel like there just would have been like a better layer of growth in her, like basically coming out. Like, I feel like that just like would have been a more real journey to the character. But
yeah.
And obviously they both played it like that. So then it's kind of like retroactively kind of like changing the narrative.
I know. And it's interesting because I feel like if you muted that one line, it leaves it up to the audience to decide what's happening. Can we talk about when the movie starts? The coziness of the 90s. Like, Rosie O'Donnell's like coming out of the grocery store with her bags and the kids are driving by like,
rewatch
hey, Doctor,
it tonight.
Papa. Like, literally, I was like, God, this movie is so cozy. We're going to move into category Girl, Be Serious.
Girl,
be so fucking serious. When Roberta fakes her death for the second time to these girls, it would be time for a chat. Like, this is not okay.
Wait,
like,
what was the first time?
Well, they talk about it.
They
don't
just say
show
she'd
it.
done it before. Oh, okay.
Yeah. She had jumped from like the roof of her house.
Oh, right.
And I guess like Chrissy punching her is the girl be serious moment. But like, I feel like it'd be like, we have to have an intervention. We have to sit down. You cannot do this to us anymore. This is ridiculous. This is insane behavior.
Her doing that, it's like, see, that's the type of thing I mean. It has just like this eerie feeling because all of these girls are going through very like dark adult situations that it's like, the fuck? It's just crazy. And then she's gonna fake her death. It's so intense. That's a girl be serious to the max.
Yeah. And then on a lighter note, my other girl be serious is Chrissy, you need to update your living room and your home decor. Like, when they come in and they're like, it looks just like your mom's house. It's like, Chrissy. My
girl be serious is like almost everything Chrissy does. Like, you've been around these girls enough to like, you gotta get with the times. Like, come on. Her like not painting the garage. Her just like all of the stuff she did. I was like, girl, be serious. Like,
although I do like the part. I'm like, this girl is brave. Like, I was like the biggest of my friends growing up. By no means was I big, and I wish I could go back and tell young Maggie to like fucking chill about the self-hate. Mm-hmm. But like, I was the bigger one. But I would never have behaved like Chrissy. Like, I would always like want to be acting like the other girls. So when they're like riding their bikes and she's like, I'm taking a break. You can go. I'm taking a break. That could never have been me. I would have been too embarrassed. So I was like, all the power to you, Chrissy.
Same. And you know what this movie taught me, which a lot of these movies are teaching me actually, is do and say exactly what you want. And you will get it. Literally, because I'm so like, oh, well, I shouldn't say that because I should do like this because like that's like what's the right thing to do, or not the right thing to do, but like I shouldn't want too much, or I shouldn't say this or that or whatever. I don't know. Chrissy's like, I'm gonna marry a doctor. I'm taking a break when I want to take a break. Like, she's saying all this stuff, and it's like, well, shit, it's gonna happen because like you fucking have said it for 40 years. You're gonna get exactly what you want. And I'm like, yeah. And like for like Sam, for example, isn't super happy with her life. And I feel like she wasn't saying things like that. Like, I don't feel like she was ever like, I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to do this and but like all the ones who kind of were being like, Sam is more like introspective and isn't as proactive and like how she's gonna, like, obviously she gets out of there and she's a writer and stuff, but I think all the other girls are like, these are my goals, I'm sticking to them, I'm making them happen, and that it all works out for them.
Yeah, because we don't really know what her goals are. We just know she likes science fiction, and then she goes on to write science fiction. But Sam, but yeah, like Chrissy, oh my God, the part when they're like, just had like their breakdown moment in the attic, and she's like, we have to make a pact to stay friends, blah, 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 be there for each other. And she's like, if Teeny goes off to Hollywood and becomes a famous actress, or when I marry a rich doctor, and I'm just like, what?
Okay, diva.
So funny. And that's all she says, because like, those are the only dreams we really know. So yeah. I agree with you.
Also, it's like I feel like at that age, people can be scared. Even like at my age, you can be scared to say what you want because you're like, oh, it's like so different from what everyone else is saying. But it's like that girl had zero fear. She was like marrying a rich doctor and living in my mom's house. Like, that's literally my dream. And it's like, okay, if that's your dream, like, get after it. And she got it. So like, and Teeny got exactly what she wanted.
I just thought of this. Oh my God. I wanted to bring this up. So I saw an interview yesterday with Rita Wilson, like a recent-ish
Wait, I
interview.
watched this one, I think. The People interview?
I don't know. It might have been People.
Go ahead.
My statement for this is to keep Rita Wilson far away from the writing of any future Now and Then movies that may come out. If they do a sequel, if they do a remake.
Oh, no.
Yes. No.
Yes.
I was like,
I
keep
watched
her
this interview.
away from the writing bay.
Yes.
She was like, oh, I think Chrissy now would be like way more hip. She would be divorced. She would have let go of her girlish tendencies. She wouldn't wear pink. And I was like, Rita, I think you're talking about yourself. You are not Chrissy. You are not Chrissy. No. Chrissy would stay like that to the end of days.
Chrissy would stay like that, but I can see where Chrissy would go through like a slight renaissance. Not at all what Rita Wilson was saying, but I can see her like having like an Ina Garten moment, like later in life, like she happens to like write a cookbook or like she opens a bakery, like something like of the like beautiful homemaking hobbies that she obviously enjoyed, like something of like, that coming out, and then like her reaching like a level of stardom, whether that be local or national, because of that. But again, it's like her doing exactly what she wanted. I don't think she was gonna have like a big like sexual renaissance or like a divorce or da. And I say that because she obviously, growing up, her three best friends are so unlike her and more sexual, more gossipy, more in tune with pop culture, more modern, like all these things. So if she was going to go that route, she would have already been like down that path. You know, she would have been influenced by her friends, and she has stuck with her guns the whole time. Like, that's who she is. Obviously, people change all the time, but I think that's who she is.
Yeah, and like maybe she would have developed a little bit of an edge, but I feel like she would have stayed happily married. Like, that's what I wish that for people. I don't want to be like, she would have gotten divorced and had this big sexual awakening.
I know.
No, why couldn't she have a huge sexual awakening with her husband? Like, fun. And then, like you said, like might have popped off with some kind of like show or social media channel vlog, but it's celebrating who she is and people being like, oh my God, this cute older lady, she's like super hyper feminine and her house looks like this and blah blah blah, love her, you know?
Diva. Yeah. I agree. That's
when I watched that interview, I was like, say that again?
Girl Be Serious at Rita Wilson.
Literally, oh my God. When I saw that interview, I was like, oh God, don't. No.
I will say the one thing I did like about that interview is like, oh, they did love this movie. Like the women in it clearly have like an affection for it and like think highly of like the project that they did. Like, I'm glad they're not like, oh, like, I don't really remember. Like, it's like they talk about it like in a loved, like it was loved. But also I was like, when she was like, we could bring all the grown-up women back, da-da-da-da. Or like she was like saying bring the whole cast back. But I was like, realistically, they wouldn't be able to bring back the young girls. But it would need that because that's like the spirit of the film.
I guess like if they did it, it would be like Christina Ricci, Thor Birch, and so would play them in the 90s and they would be playing them now.
That's crazy. Yeah, I guess they could do it like that. It'd be so distracting.
I know. Oh, there's something else I wanted to mention, like a little piece of movie trivia from how she got made. The fun, for us at least, when Teeny is on the roof watching Love Story at the drive-in movie. Emily and I love that movie. When she's watching Love Story. So this movie is set in the summer of 1970. Love Story was not released until December 16th, 1970. Gagged. And I think there's a couple songs, too, in this movie that were not out yet in the time period of this film.
Somewhere in time. Okay, well, on that note, that's my perfect segue to show you something, actually.
Okay.
Speaking of Love Story.
Oh, we look both at what I bought.
Oh, yeah, I have my cheetah pants on. Look at what I found and purchased this weekend.
Love Story record. Mine's up there.
And I couldn't remember if you said you had 2 of this or 2 of Somewhere in Time.
I might have.
Because I was going to take whichever one it was. Shout out to upstate New York. This woman had a sick ass shop and had a ton of records. It was literally like banger after banger. It was like Dean Martin, Love Story, Frank Sinatra, every fucking movie from the time, every musical from the time. I was like, okay. I literally said to the lady, I was like, you have a sick selection. Like what? And she was like, estate sales. I go to every estate sale. But yeah, so I got my Love Story record, $10.
I need another one because mine's like a little sun-worn.
Keep it out of the sun.
Well, and it's
so
facing away from the window. And you can't see it, but it's this one right here. That concludes Girl Be Serious.
Pause for applause.
Okay, and now we move on to the Sisters' Choice Awards. Bling, bling, bling. Cool. We're going to start with She Ate. This is the best performance, entrance, comeback, or dramatic moment in the film.
Okay.
The Christina Ricci attic scene.
Yeah.
Very dramatic. Yeah. It almost borderlines cringe, but the chops are there. Christina Ricci kills it.
It borderlines cringe, but I also feel like the feeling of like wanting to crawl out of your skin as a child and that being like how your emotions come out. Like you're kind of crying, you're kind of not at the same time. Like you're crying, but like tears aren't really coming out. And like you're angry, have such pent up energy that you don't know how to regulate your voice or like control your body. And so I was like, yeah. There. So for that reason, it works.
There's a lot of like drama scenes in this movie that are really good. And like, I was thinking about this, the scene in Romeo and Michelle when they're watching Pretty Woman. We talked on this in the Pretty Woman episode. Mm-hmm. When they're like, look, they won't let her shop. And they're like making fun of it. And they're like, but it is kind of sad. Like, that's how I feel in this movie. Okay, so I put She Ate might be the Hank Azaria performance because he gives the right level of both sleazy and charming. And I'm like, I'm so confused by him because I'm like, are we like as adult women? Like, obviously we hate him for the purposes of Samantha. Like, we don't need this guy coming into the life. But also I'm like, is he sleazy? Or is he like a good guy that we want in her life? I can't tell because he seems good, but then he says like weird shit to the mom. And I think
he's supposed to be good, but it's just like the 70s.
Yeah, because like when he's like, oh, you're a looker, just like your mom. And it's like, ugh. And the mom is like, okay. And then when he's like, we should go to DC to go to the Smithsonian for a weekend trip before the end of summer. Mind you, this is their first date when he suggests that.
Oh, that's crazy.
And she's like, oh, yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, because he says first date jitters when he spills the wine. And I was like, this is your first date?
Ew.
Okay.
No, that's so scary.
But he's like, we should go to Washington, D.C. And she's like, oh, yeah, that would be great. And he was like, I think we'll have some fun, or it'll be fun for everyone. And then he like lifts his eyebrows at the mom. And she's just like, okay.
Ew.
I'm like, ew. So are you sleazy or good? Because you're nice to everyone. I can't tell. I got bad radar on the Hank Azaria performance.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe
Hank
because
Azaria is timeless.
Yeah, and see, I guess maybe I'm colored by his portrayal as David, the scientist guy on Friends.
Guy. Yeah.
So he went to Minsk.
For She Ate.
And I also have Thora Birch's performance, period. And that's the end.
I was going to say, I feel like Thora Birch and Christina Ricci are the standouts of this film. I would also say another She Ate scene is Thora Birch with Sam, like when they are on top of the roof and then when they go to the treehouse and then they like are biking in the rain and they lose the bracelet and all of that stuff. I think Thora Birch's performance, like from the moment she's watching the movie up until like finally getting the bracelet and Crazy Pete saving them, like that acting is like, that's some real acting right there. You know?
Okay. The outfit that paid rent. Best outfits in the film. I have two.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Demi Moore's opening outfit, the tailored suit with the vest, the tie, and the black and white saddle shoes. Serving!
8.
Great looks. Yeah. I love any of the Demi Moore costumes in general. Yeah. That's totally my vibe. And then Christina Ricci's attic scene with the green striped shirt and the green pants. Love. That's my favorite.
So I was going to say, I have pitches. I was going to say Christina Ricci and like the rainbow striped shirt.
Mm-hmm.
That's tie. Because I feel like that's like what's in the poster or something. Or like that. I feel like that her in that outfit is what I always see. And then my favorite outfit from the movie is Melanie Griffith at the beginning of the movie with the black trousers and the like fuzzy cardigan and loafers. Or heeled boots maybe.
Is that when she's going to the hospital?
She wears the cardigan again at the very end when they're in the
I'm trying to remember because when she shows up, she's in that white suit.
Oh, then it's not that. Maybe it's when they go to the hospital.
Yeah, I love all her outfits too. Like, I love that big, like, creamy turtleneck that she wears in the treehouse at the very end. They give such cozy vibes in the end when they're in the treehouse.
Wait, no, I thought she was wearing the cardigan at the end. Oh, maybe she's wearing it over it. It's like a gold fuzzy cardigan.
Maybe then I'm getting it wrong. But yeah, I like all of her fits.
Yeah,
of which
she best dressed.
Remember clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, one of our other awards is the soundtrack.
Wait, who wins?
Oh, who wins? Obviously Demi Moore. I'm going to put my foot down and say Demi Moore's outfits because iconic. Although it's like, why does Chrissy have to be like, if you didn't wear all black, pastels are so great on a woman, men love it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, ugh. I've definitely had people tell me that I need to stop wearing black. And I'm like, no, it's not a phase.
Period.
I love Demi Moore, though. I was like, we got to watch Indecent Proposal. I got to decide when I'm going to make you watch that one. Okay. Are you good with that winner? How do you feel?
For me, it's Melanie Griffith, but I'll let it slide.
Okay. Soundtrack slay. The best song, placement, musical cue, or montage. Okay.
Oh my god, everything is so incredibly, insanely perfect, but I think there's one winner.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, my note I put here is this may be one of the truly perfect movie soundtracks. Banger after banger.
Good.
Each scene, ironically for me, the one song that I do not like in this whole movie is the end song, Now and Then. I feel like it totally jolts me out of the situation.
Totally takes you out of it. It should never have been used. Hey, every time I watch this, as soon as the credits rolled, I was like, ugh, turn it off. I hate the use of that song. It's so corny and stupid. It literally itches and aggravates my brain in the same way as in 50 Shades of Grey when he says, I'm 50 Shades of fucked up. It's the worst use of a movie title in a film. Like, it's such such terrible use case of it. It gives me the ick. I think there are ways to use the name of a movie in a fun or like way that really works, a la Pretty Woman, the song being used in Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
This was such a bad, terrible use case. It should not have been used. That shouldn't have been the song. Honestly, it should have been like, because this was pre this, like, where you lead, I will follow. Like, it should have been like a song like that, like the Gilmore Girls theme song, which I guess would not have been out. Well, I don't know. 95. They would have been in the modern day.
Something from our,
point,
like, our Spotify playlist. Anything that we've made for the curated Spotify playlist we made for this episode would have been better. Like, ain't no mountain high enough, or I don't even
know. When she's singing, I let it be good to you.
Yeah, just end it with like another iteration of that song.
I'll be there. Don't you know, baby, yeah. Like, that's Rita the part Wilson. When Chrissy was getting ready and she was singing that song. I was like, damn, Chrissy got exactly what she wanted. So happy for her.
I know. Rita Wilson has a musical career now, and she has, I don't know how many CDs she has, but she released an album and she sang this song on it. And I was like, okay, Chrissy, I see you.
Now and then.
I'll be there.
Oh, okay.
Soundtrack slay. I think we agree that this is an all-time banger. I almost don't want to touch on this because I touch on this in 2 more categories, but the knock 3 times on the bike. I just got chills. One of the perfect scenes of any movie ever made.
I think we're going to discuss it in probably Vibes for Immaculate, I'm sure, but that in terms of soundtracks, like that use of song is the best, and their performance, that's the best part of the movie. It's the part people remember.
I could like cry
too.
right now because of how just
cinematic and perfect it is. Yeah, I think
the fact that you said cinematic, like, I want to watch this movie on the big screen. Like, I want them to play it at the Lucas so I can go see it big. Oh,
because when they're, we'll talk about it later. But like, that is the perfect soundtrack slide. Also, like, when there's so many perfect uses of music in this movie, that is the best example. I think a runner-up is her singing "I'll Be There." That's really good. Another runner-up is when the mom, shout out to Bonnie Hunt, comes in the room. And it's funny because I was literally thinking about Bonnie Hunt the other day when you were talking about Rosie O'Donnell, because I was like, who's that other lady that had an iconic talk show? And then I was like, Bonnie Hunt. And then I was like, where is Bonnie Hunt? Like, where is she? And then we watched this movie and I was like, oh, she's in this. Like, I knew she was in this movie, but like, I forgot because she's in it for like a second. And I was just like, weird. Like, I was just thinking about her in relation to Rosie O'Donnell, and then she's in this movie with Rosie O'Donnell. Anyway, when she comes in the room and it's Daydream Believer, which is one of my favorite songs, I'm just like, that's such a good use of that song at that part. Because it's like,
good.
That is not the type of music probably any of the other girls would be listening to, but it would be the type of music and vibe for Chrissy.
Totally. I also, the other music cue I like is when they've stolen the Wormers' clothes and are riding off on their bikes. The way that Hitchin' a Ride comes on, and it's like, dun, dun, it's like,
oh, you love that song.
Like, the way it starts, like, dun, 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 and their, like, wheels start rolling and on their bikes and they start moving. I'm like, I just got myself chills again. Like, the way the movement is happening along with the music, I'm like, this movie is so good. Hitchin' a Ride. So, yeah. So, soundtrack slay. I feel like I almost didn't even include this category because I just feel like it's implicit. I feel like half of this movie is the music.
Okay. I have a new category that I would like to introduce to the Sister Choice Awards, which I'm going to loosely title for now the Cameo Icon.
Love.
Cameo Icon!
Cameo Icon!
Introducing Cameo icon is like a little cameo that is made in the movie that it's just like you're watching the movie and you're like, oh shit, you're in this? That's crazy. Iconic.
Yeah.
Like cameo icon would have been Amzie Strickland in Pretty Woman. Cameo icon. And cameo icon would also be like the use of Pretty Woman in Romeo and Michelle. Like it doesn't have to be a person. It can be like something in the movie that it's like, oh, like that, like they have a world because like they're watching that movie in it, or like this book is mentioned. You know what I mean? Like things like that. So cameo icon. Hank Azaria as Bud. This one might be one that you're gonna say for background character, foreground impact. Brendan Fraser as our hippie friend.
Yeah, freaking George of the Jungle showing up in here out of nowhere.
I know. I'm interested if you have more to share about the casting of that because it's kind of insane. Then I'm gonna pitch the Love Story movie being played. Iconic. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I also put, this might be actually more of a person for background character, foreground impact, which is Cloris Leachman as the grandma. I think that's probably more in that category. So let's keep it with, also we could put Bonnie Hunt in this category, but I don't think she did her biggest one. She's just like cute and whatever in the movie, like it's kind of low key. So I'm going to pitch Brendan Fraser, Hank Azaria, and the use of Love Story.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think the winner for me in that would be the Love Story.
For me, the winner is Love Story. For like the larger, grander scheme of the film, it's probably Brendan Fraser because that's kind of wild and it's like an interesting scene of the movie.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
For my personal affiliation and love for the movie Love Story, and also just like the vibes of her sitting on the roof watching a like drive-in movie kind of thing, I'm going Love Story.
It makes me think, is Brendan Fraser too big of a character to be a cameo icon? Because cameo icon almost feels like, wait, is that them? And then being like, oh shit, like in Somewhere in Time being what's his face at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, yeah. And then like William H. Macy in Somewhere in Time also.
Yeah. So it'd be like, oh shit.
Maybe Brendan Fraser's too big. So maybe it's really like is Hank Azaria too big?
Yeah, I feel like his character's too large. But he did not make it into my background character, foreground impact, because I don't feel like he's a background character either.
He doesn't give impact so much, but his scene is interesting and really adds to Sam's story. But for cameo icon, the winner is the usage of Love Story. Shout out Love Story. Shout
out Love Story.
Music.
If you haven't seen Love Story,
we're watching it next week. Mm-hmm. The movie I picked for next week, it's going to be so interesting after some of the things I said, and I'll tell you why later. It's just funny.
Okay.
Okay.
And next we have Cringe Peak.
Beware
of Cringe Peak.
Cringe Peak. Okay, I would like to nominate every time Chrissy's on screen. I'm so sorry to this girl. Everything she does is so cringy. It's so tough.
Yeah, you have a real hate for Chrissy.
She's just annoying as fuck. Like, I don't know. It's definitely a symptom of her upbringing that she's so annoying. But it's also tough because they make the other three girls like so cool and similar in vibe and tone that Chrissy is very like nails on a chalkboard. Everything she does and says.
Yeah.
Sorry. Her like telling the girls like about after she has the sex talk with her mom and she's like, the guy sprays his watering can on the girl's flower. I'm just like, I can't watch it. It's so cringe. Her taking the break, also iconic, but kind of cringe.
I don't care. I'm taking a break.
Is that mean to say? It's just a way she says it. It's like, okay.
I'm just like, you go for it, girl.
What are your other cringe peaks?
Okay. Roberta jumping from the tree and pretending that she died. That's too much.
Oh, I have a pitch. And it's a cringe peak, but it's also kind of like iconic in the grand scheme of the movie. Like it really adds something, but it's cringe to me to watch, but it is, I wouldn't take it out. When Chrissy pretends like during the seance that a spirit has overcome her. And she's like, he's here with us. He wants to talk to us.
No, she does so
crazy.
good in that part.
Good. No, the acting is top notch. I was thinking that. I was like, all 4 of them at that part, the acting is like 10 out of 10. This isn't a cringe
like,
peak, actually. I take it out. This is like the best scene in the whole movie. I would be scared shitless if that happened. If someone did that, I would be like, oh my God. Like, imagine if we went on like a ghost tour in Savannah and someone did that, like to fuck with everyone. I would actually I'd be so scared. I wouldn't know what to do.
Well, it's like that one time when I was at my former workplace and we were down in the basement with a ghost hunter and her son started like freaking out and rolling on the floor. And I was like, it was crazy. I won't go into it, but that's a good story.
Listen out for the story on our Patreon. Why you laugh?
Oh, because we don't have a Patreon.
But we will if people want it.
Yeah, you can hear me tell all my Savannah ghost stories. Also, side note, I was thinking about it and I was like, oh, maybe the interior cemetery shots are at Bonaventure because a lot of the tombstones don't look like the colonial cemetery ones. They look more Bonaventure vibes, but I cannot confirm because I did not look it up. But it's possible. Maybe. It's possible.
It's possible. C'est possible.
And I also have Chrissy's mom talking about sex, but not talking about sex. And
cringe,
the reason I have a cringe on it is because she's like, your friends are trash mouths and I want you to hear it from me. It's like, okay. And then she doesn't even tell her. So she's still done a disservice.
She doesn't tell her shit. And then it opens her up to more ridicule from her friends because she's going to say this weird thing her mom told her. And then they're going to be like,
they're going to fucking bully her.
Yeah. And they do.
And yeah, they do. Oh, I just thought of this. Like, this isn't a cringe peak, but I guess this is a bully peak. But when they see the boys like swimming and then they take the clothes and they're like, you go ahead and get started. And she's like, no, I'm waiting with you or whatever she says. And they're like, you're going to need more time. Like, go now while we still like talk to the boys. And I'm like, that's fucked.
That's so mean.
Yeah.
No.
I have a love-hate relationship with Chrissy.
But I think Chrissy is the cringe of this movie, and she is meant to be. Until the end when she becomes herself.
Her
Rita
fucking
Wilson.
diva self.
Yeah.
Well, and it just goes like she's cringe, but it's like we've been saying this whole pod. Like, she knows what she wants and she says what she wants and she gets what she wants.
Yeah, and that's inspiring.
That's on being a
Let's
Chrissy.
all be more like Chrissy. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, cringe peak, the winner is Chrissy. Not Roberta pretending she died.
Roberta pretending she died is like a whole nother category, like trauma. Like trauma dumb. Scary.
Yeah.
Like it's beyond cringe. It's psychological warfare. It's not right. So like I don't even know. I mean, we can maybe call them both winners, but Roberta is something else. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think Chrissy's meant to be cringe. Like everything she does is supposed to be cringe.
I spoke too soon. The Audacity Award is next. And I did have, so at the Audacity Award, character with the boldest or most outrageous behavior,
Roberta.
Christina Ricci, Roberta, jumping from the tree.
I think that and also Chrissy doing the seance thing. That's an Audacity thing. Her faking the seance. Like she had the audacity to fuck with those girls so hard. No, but I think you're right. I think it's definitely Roberta in that scene. Also, I just want to go back to cringe peak. We talked about this earlier, but and I think we're going to talk about this scene more in depth. When they meet Brendan Fraser, who's has been in the war and was sent home because he got shot. And she's like, you're a hippie, aren't you? That is so cringe to me. The way she's talking to him and her tone of voice is just so cringy. But he is so funny. You're a trip. That sent me. I think the phrase "you're a trip" is so funny and not used enough. I'm gonna start using it. It's very old timey, I feel like.
I think
like
I
not
say
old timey, but like very like 90s, early 2000s. You're a trip. Like people don't say that anymore. 'Cause it's like I assume it's like psychedelics related, right?
I guess.
But that's all to say Brendan Fraser did his big one.
Okay, so the Audacity Award goes to Christina Ricci as Roberta. Bombs away!
Bombs away is crazy. Oh, God.
Okay, the brain chemistry moment. The scene, line, character, image that permanently influenced you. I feel like the knock 3 times on the bikes, like I said earlier, any girl riding her bikes with her buddies, her girlfriends, is going to think of this scene or reenact this scene, sing this song while they're riding a bike. It's like impossible.
Knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me. Twice on the pipe. Bling, bling. If the answer is no. Oh, my darling.
Okay. Also, so my second vote for a brain chemistry moment is the late night communication system among the girls with the bell on a string and the flashlight and the walkie-talkie.
It's so good.
Love. Mm-hmm.
I think that the bike scene wins. It's just iconic and it's so special. The soundtrack is perfect. The girls are doing their big one. It's cute. It's like golden hour, shiny, perfect energy vibes.
Okay, so I think the winner of the brain chemistry moment is definitely the bike scene.
For sure.
But
it's indisputable.
Is the other one.
I did want to go back and ask you, and a close second, the other option. I want to go back to Brendan Fraser. Did you think he was hot in this movie?
Yeah. Like real hot.
Okay. I think he's hot. I don't know if I necessarily think he's hot in this movie. But we're watching Mummy next week, so we'll get to discuss more.
See, I'm like, we gotta watch George of the Jungle, because you'll be like...
Well, obviously he's so hot.
Yeah, he's hot in that movie. And
that was before this?
No, I think it might have been after. And he's like in love with the lady. So it's like fun for us to watch.
Okay. What is the next category?
The next category is the vibes were immaculate. And I have obviously the bike scene. The vibes are immaculate is the best setting, sequence, montage, or overall atmosphere. Immaculate. No notes. And
it's
I have the bike scene.
It's the vibe. Wait, hang on. I just like want to paint us a picture of the vibes were immaculate. Don't you just like every summer and fall, you just want to watch a movie or a show about like a small town where the weather looks like either warm and cozy or cold and cozy, and it's just like girls being girls, and the lighting is pretty, and the outfits are cute and cozy, and the vibes are vibing. There's like a little spooky, but not too scary. Don't you always want that? That's what this is, and the vibes are immaculate.
So the movie in general for you is the winner.
Correct. And I like that it was filmed in Savannah, kind of.
Maybe.
No, not even kind of. It was filmed in Savannah.
Your entry is the movie. My entry is the bike scene again. And then also, for personal reasons, love story on the roof.
The vibes were immaculate is definitely the bike scene. I think that's perfect. I also think the use of the spooky in this movie is also perfectly used. Like we have the seances, we have them going to the woman for the tarot reading, who I saw on the train last summer. That lady, that actress that's also in Romeo and Michelle.
Janine Garofalo.
Yep. And then, so I think those vibes are immaculate in terms of the spooky. And then we kind of have this like interesting, unique payoff of like finding out Crazy Pete was Dear Johnny's father, and that Dear Johnny and his mom had been murdered while the dad was at a bar. And that's kind of why the Crazy Pete doesn't come out, and he's not actually like a scary, weird man who's like doing creepy things. He just like wasn't there when his family was tragically murdered, which is also bad, but different than like them thinking he's like, I don't really know what they think he is. They just think he's like really creepy and weird, and the whole town like ignores him, and they don't understand why.
Yeah, I feel like they just think he's like super eccentric.
So I think, yeah, the use of the macabre is good in this film.
The macabre. Yeah, I agree. And I love how, like, when you get a bunch of girls together, there's always going to be some kind of, like, coven formed, you know? Like, it's like, we just like the spooky vibes. Yeah.
The girls like the spooky. They like the cults. It must form. Did you ever perform a seance as a child?
Yeah. And I don't think any of it was done correctly. So I don't know what that means for me and myself and my paranormal experiences, but it was done incorrectly. So
you did it on a Ouija board?
Yeah.
Remember when the Ouija board
purchased from Toys R Us?
Great. It's like by Hasbro. Remember when or is that the gummy bears?
No, Hasbro games.
What's the gummy bears called? Habaro?
Yeah, Haribo.
Similar name.
Haribo?
Haribo, that's what it is. Remember when the Ouija board movie came out and we made Vine?
Oh,
and I was like, oh, Ouija. I don't want to see that. It looks scary.
Looks scary. Oh, Ouija. Okay.
Enough. Oh, Ouija.
Okay, enough talk about Ouija boards.
The macabre.
No more in this house. Okay. So, vibes are immaculate. Winner, the movie. Very good. Okay. Now we're going to move on to...
And the Viking scene.
Okay, cool. So now we're going to move on to background character, foreground impact. I have 3 candidates. Brendan Fraser as the Vietnam veteran. He was uncredited in this movie.
What does that mean? His name's not in the credits?
Yeah, according to Wikipedia or IMDb, one of the two where I pulled this information, it says he was uncredited. Which I was like, what? There's a person in this movie with tons of speaking lines. Like, how are they not credited?
That doesn't feel right.
Let me just pull up Prime Video on my phone right now.
Yeah, I was about to say, pull up Prime and check right now.
I hate the new AI search on Prime Video. Like, let me just freaking look for the movie. Why has it got to be a whole thing? Yeah, he's not in there.
What? That's weird.
It's like one of those really short cast lists too, where you're like, well, there's tons of extras and stuff in this movie. It would not fly like that today. But how could a character with speaking lines not be credited?
Do you think I just plumb forgot?
Literally. How does that work?
I deadass think someone forgot. Like the intern forgot to type it in on the typewriter.
Crazy.
Or computer. I don't know if they had computers back then.
They had
95,
computers.
I guess they had computers.
Yeah.
They had computers. Okay, well, I think Brendan Fraser. Okay, wait, who are the nominations? Brendan Fraser,
Cloris Leachman as Grandma,
and
Janine Garofalo as Willadine, the witchy waitress at the diner.
Okay. I think the standout scene is Brendan Fraser. It's always stuck out in my head. However, Cloris Leachman is really iconic as the grandma. Like, that's just great casting, and she's doing her big one in her scene. Scenes, she's in it a couple. When she's knocking on the door, it's crazy. You have to go to him.
Open the damn door.
Yeah. And the mom makes them hide under the table. Like, that's a sick and twisted scene. And that makes you be like, oh shit, this is like some very real family drama that we're dealing with. And that was actually one of the scenes that made me be like, wait, these girls are dealing with like really adult stuff. Like, can you imagine as a child that happening? Like your parent being like, we have to hide under the table from grandma. And she's like, why? Like, that's crazy. So Cloris Leachman honestly brought it for that. And then what's the lady's name? Janine, what is it?
Janine Garofalo.
Janine Garofalo as a goth queen will always be iconic. And she is funny in this movie when she's like, it'll be blah, blah, blah today, boys. We're girls. I know. And then when they go to get the tarot done to figure out stuff about Dear Johnny, and she's like, I'm a little blue today, boys. Like, she says it again, calls them boys. And Chrissy's like, I hate this lady.
Girls!
She's so weird. I think the winner is probably Brendan Fraser, but the other two are really good.
Yeah, see,
Cloris
for me,
Leachman,
I was like,
maybe for like the star power,
Yeah. I was going to say, I feel like the winner, when people think about this movie, it would be Janine Garofalo, because I always remembered her from this movie, and I always, or like, I guess like later in life when you finally had easy access to this movie, I always thought that she had a bigger part than she did. And I was like, oh, she's like really not in this movie that much. But
I
my
think that's why I was
winner,
thinking what I said. I think she has like a few small scenes, and then Brendan Fraser has like this bigger kind of drawn out moment. So I feel like that's why it stands out more. But Cloris Leachman kind of brings the comedy. They all bring something. All three.
I know,
of these.
because Cloris Leachman is my personal winner. I don't know if she's the winner for everybody, but I love her, and she's funny.
I think Cloris Leachman wins. Let's wait.
Okay, so for our podcast, because it is our podcast, we say that Cloris Leachman is the best background character with foreground impact.
Because she has impact on the story and gives them information, and Brendan Fraser just brings like vibes. And he's not even credited, so who gives a shit about him in this movie? Apparently they didn't either.
No, I know. They're like, who's this guy? He'll never amount to anything.
They were literally, he'll never amount to anything. They were doing background character, foreground impact, and they were like, we don't even need to include him. Who? So
yeah,
we'll just stick with their choice on that.
I would like to, so you unveiled your own category earlier. What was it?
Cameo icon.
Cameo icon. I also built a new category. This one is inspired by the famous line from the movie Big. I still don't get it. That is this category. Okay. It's the moments that left us with a big question mark at the end. So I have a couple. What was in the lemonade? Was it spiked or was it just super sour? Because the grandma likes it.
Super. I think she put a lot of like lemonade powder in it, was what I thought.
Okay. I was always like, it's got a little bit of sauce in it. Okay. And then my other question is, why is Chrissy's living room so dark and drab and masculine? Because her mom was super bright and colorful. And she says that the living room is exactly how her mom had it. And I'm like, why would her mom have decorated it like this? It doesn't make any sense to me.
He's to a man.
No, because like the mom was in like pinks and greens, and Chrissy's room was like super ultra feminine. Like I feel like the rest of the house would have been a little more like pastels.
Yeah.
So that left me with a big
I think
old
that is
question
weird.
mark.
Yeah. Those are good questions. My question is, where are they now? I'd love another flash forward. I know, I was thinking that during the movie. I was like, where are these ladies now? Now and again. I love a flash forward. I like to know.
Like, Emily loves that.
Why are you laughing?
Tickled myself.
Why?
Emily loves the part in Titanic when she dies, but we still get to see what happens after. She goes to Titanic heaven.
I don't love that part.
No, it's just full circle. You get to see it all.
It actually
is
my favorite part of that movie. Actually, when she finally does get to go to heaven, I famously hate the movie Titanic because it makes me so sad and makes me feel so insane. And
next week's movie,
it like genuinely makes me feel like I'm having hives all over my body because I'm not trying to be funny. I think I was on the Titanic. So that movie's a hard watch for me, but I do appreciate that we get to see her go to Titanic heaven because that shit needed to be resolved. For real. For real.
For real.
Okay.
Her husband and children Or like, I
are
guess
not
mom is
there.
in. Yeah.
Yeah, mom's at
Guess mom is
Titanic
gonna be
heaven.
in
We're
Titanic
in New
heaven.
England heaven.
Mhm.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
Okay. The I still don't get it winner, I think, is ultimately for me, Chrissy's living room. Makes no sense.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think that feels right.
Okay. And then we move on to our final category, Delulu, but make it cinema. The most unrealistic plot point that you happily accepted because it made the movie better. Okay, for me, the contenders are that Chrissy is friends with these girls, or that they are friends with her. But I guess you just always have like that one friend who's like a little on the outskirts, but like also is your buddy. Okay. And then late night ventures into the cemetery. Like, I know that their parents are more hands off back then, but I feel like this is a lot. Like, it's in the middle of the night. You call your friend on a really loud ass walkie talkie, and then you're just able to sneak out of the house and go to a cemetery.
Yeah.
This is my ultimate winner. This is the winner. Do you have any for Delulu but Make It Cinema?
Yeah. I have two things I was going to say. One thing I was going to say, this isn't related to Delulu. It's related to what you just said of them going out in the middle of the night. It is kind of a perfect setting of how they're thinking about things, though, and how they're setting up of like nothing bad happens in this town and nothing bad happens in the 70s and whatever. And it's like they're talking about this murder that happened. Meanwhile, they're going to the cemetery in the middle of the night and biking home alone and all this stuff. And I'm like, it's crazy that they're not more scared. Like, they're thinking this town is safe. Meanwhile, they're investigating this murder that happened. Obviously, it was like 20, 30, 40 years prior, and not feeling scared. Like, it would make me feel more scared in the town, but they're still like freeballing it, you know, like they're having a big time.
Well, I guess that's on being kids too.
That's on being kids.
That'll happen to you.
But it looks like they're having a kick-ass summer. Like, that'd be like so fun and weird and crazy. Like, the summer that they're having, it seems so. I mean, that summer went down in the books. Okay, so my Delulu but Make It Cinema is Samantha going in the sewer to get the bracelet, and Teeny, and like the water rushing through, and Teeny not being able to save her, and the Crazy Pete coming and lifting the thing. Honestly, all of that feels like it could happen, actually, so it's not that Delulu. It's just so dramatic, and it's also scary. Like, when I'm watching it, I'm like, wait, that actually is really scary, and that is some shit a kid would do. Be like, oh, I dropped my bracelet. I can slide my body into this, like, grate, basically, and get down there, and then, like, you get stuck down there, and you're fucked. So, actually, it's not that delusional. Like, a kid would do that, but it just, like, it makes me scared every time I watch. That's another one of the parts that makes me feel scared.
Well, that part irritates me because Teeny is like, I'm coming, Sam! And then, like, she goes up to the manhole cover and is like, and
yeah, she's not doing anything.
She doesn't even try to pick it up. I mean, I don't think she could, but she doesn't even do anything to, like, get her fingers in the holes and, like, pick it up.
But Crazy Pete comes and does his big one. Okay, what is your big pitch for Delulu but Make It Cinema?
My big pitch is twofold. Two things in one scene. Them, at the end, being in the treehouse with the baby.
With the baby!
I'm like, wait.
And how did we get the baby up the treehouse stairs?
Yeah.
Ladder?
So I'm like, how did we get the baby up the treehouse stairs ladder? And then how did Chrissy, probably like a week,
a day
at the earliest postpartum, climb the ladder to get up into the treehouse? Chrissy would never.
Chrissy probably wouldn't have been going in the treehouse after she turned 20. Like, she would have been so straight-laced. She's like, I don't need to climb up the treehouse ladder. Maggie, I'm dead. Because literally, I was watching it and I was like, how did they get this baby up there? Like, that is bad parenting. That's not right. But I didn't even think of Chrissy. Adding Chrissy to the mix is insane. That is something Chrissy would never do. She would never. But they had to have that ending for the movie because it's perfect, them in the Treehouse one more time. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Wait, also I just remembered the part I think I like Melanie Griffith's costume is when she's swinging on the swings. And
oh yeah,
Chrissy's talking about Roberta having her alternative lifestyle living with her boyfriend.
Delulu but make it cinema, I think, is the treehouse scene at the end. Yeah. Beautiful scene, but there's a couple question marks in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that wraps up the Sisters' Choice Awards for today.
Shout out to all our winners!
Woo!
Pause for applause. Woo!
Okay.
And shout out to our runner-up.
Our last little bit of this episode, is it still a favorite? Absolutely. Yes.
Yes.
Will always be a favorite. Will always be the ultimate girl summer movie.
Wait, I did have one piece of casting trivia that I wanted to address.
Rumor Willis.
We didn't get to. Yeah.
Rumor Willis. I thought about that.
Demi Moore's daughter is in this movie. She plays Sam's little sister. And I feel like that's a cute nod. And that was kind of something I was thinking about that I was going to touch on earlier, but wanted to save it when I was talking about the girl on Reddit who was like, oh, my dad worked in Savannah and was like around for the set. Demi Moore was only there one day. I was like, she would have been there multiple days with Rumor, I'm sure. Like, would have had to go back for those days too. But maybe you're right that those were like on sets and the stuff in Savannah was different. But I think that's a cute little nod that we have. Little Rumor Willis.
Little Rumor. Okay, so should we add her to background character, foreground, and back, or icon cameo?
She might be cameo icon. She can be in cameo icon, but I think Love Story is still the big winner. Sorry to Rumor.
It's okay. It's okay.
But that's from personal connection. Is this movie still a favorite? Absolutely. This movie, honestly, of the movies we've watched, well, it's in my top 3, I would say, like of most likely to go back and watch. I love this movie.
Of the ones we watched.
Of the ones we've watched. Like, honestly, I think my top 3 I'm most likely to go rewatch. Maybe we should say. My top 3 that I'm most likely to go rewatch are Uptown Girls, Confessions of a Shopaholic, gagged, and Now and Then.
Mine would probably be Uptown Girls, Bride Wars, and Now and Then.
Bride Wars! I take out Confessions and replace I replace it with Bride Wars.
I was like, really?
I forgot about Bride Wars. Bride Wars is perfect. I forgot about it. Excuse me. I respectfully take out Confessions. And, like, I do love Pretty Woman, but it's just not one I want to rewatch a lot. Like, I think it's perfect, and I enjoy it when I watch it, but it's not one that I feel, like, great watching. Because I think it makes me sad in a way. It just has, like, a dark tone. I don't know.
That's 3000, baby. That's that 3000 poking through.
Yeah, something lingers.
Yeah. Okay, so would you rewatch it? Obviously,
I'm gonna, like, watch it tonight.
Okay. Final rating, official verdict of the movie. What would you rate this movie out of 10? 10 being the highest?
11. 10 out of 10.
Really?
Well, okay, like, what's a 10 out of, like, what's my spectrum, you know? Like, what's a 10 out of 10?
I don't know. What's a perfect movie?
Like, to me?
Yeah.
Like, Devil Wears Prada.
Okay. On the Devil Wears Prada spectrum.
Okay, no, Father of the Bride. Put Father of the Bride on the perfect end.
Okay. Yeah, I think I would probably give this movie an 8. 8.5.
Okay, it's not a 10. Like, I think I'd give it a 9. I'd give it a 9 for, like, rewatchability and realness, writing, set, all that stuff. Like, it's got all the things that make a great movie. So I give it a 9 out of 10. It loses 1 point for
getting to credit Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, exactly. 1 point off for that.
That concludes everything I have to say about Now and Then.
Now and Then.
Thank you for joining me on this journey through
Thank you for sharing
70s.
everything that you shared. Thank you for sharing everything that you shared. I really enjoyed this one. I think it's a great movie. I know there's probably lots of Gen Z listeners out there who haven't seen this movie. I think this was, like, very much firmly planted in the millennial gen, and maybe some of the Gen Z folks saw this one when it was on Netflix. But if my girly pops out there haven't seen it, you should definitely watch it. It's giving like everything you want, 90s girlhood summer vibes. And so I really, really, really would recommend watching this. Just vibe out, get a sandwich, get a fun drink, watch this movie. You'll have the time of your life. That's all I can say. And Maggie, are you ready to know what we're watching next week?
Yes.
Okay. So I had something in mind, like kind of all week, as similar to you, that I was going to do, which was a movie I don't even think you've ever seen before, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. And then I decided against it because I thought it was too similar to Now and Then, like 4 girls, you know, we just did Cheetah Girls, then this. And so I just was like, we'll hold off on the 4 girls. Then I was thinking Princess Diaries because it just celebrated its 25th anniversary. But I also just feel like that one is too big and it has to be the right time for us to hit Princess Diaries. And we've done some Anne Hathaway. So, you know, we're going to take a beat. And we just did Gary Marshall. So it's like, okay, we'll give Princess Diaries room to breathe at the right time. So
yeah, we've uncorked it. Is waiting for us to sip.
Yeah. I was like, what? Yeah, it's like marinating and getting ready. And then I was like, what is a good movie? And then we had a comment from someone we know, or I commented to someone we know who had posted something referencing this movie. And I was like, oh, that's such a good movie. I haven't watched it in so long. And then I was like, I don't even know if Maggie's ever seen that movie. And then I was thinking about it and I was like, wait, this movie has like a lot of connections to my life. And like, you'll see why. And I was like, Maggie would love this movie. And the girls on TikTok have been going off about this movie. It's like all over my feed. So, drum roll, please. You know.
Huh?
You know what it is?
No.
Next week, we are watching, and this will be another movie that has a repeat person. That's crazy that it does. Next week, we are watching Cheaper by the Dozen.
I've seen that movie, Emily. What?
You've seen Cheaper by the Dozen?
Movie. Yeah. I saw that in theaters. I saw the second one, too. What the fuck?
The second one is so good. How do you feel?
I feel good. I love Steve Martin. And shout out to Bonnie Hunt. Be seeing you again, girl, next week. And is Hilary Duff in it? Or just Haley? Okay,
no
good.
Haley. No Haley at all.
Oh, I thought she was in it too. Yay, we love Hilary Duff.
Are you excited or are you mad at me for picking that movie?
No, I don't think I'll ever be mad at you for picking a movie.
You'll be mad at me when I pick something borrowed.
No, like it's just gonna be like, ugh, what a drag. Gotta watch this movie because you know I hate that girl.
I almost picked Aquamarine, but I'm just like, I'm like nervous to pick Aquamarine because it actually is like in my top 10 of favorite movies ever, and I'm just like,
we'll do it next summer.
You know, like I keep being like, but then I'm like, is it the time now because they just announced the reboot? You know.
Well, maybe by next summer, the reboot will be coming out.
I know. That's all to say, Cheaper by the Dozen is going to make you cry. Sometimes when I think about it, like certain scenes in the movie, I'll just think about them and it'll make me start to tear up.
Can't wait.
Oh,
I can't wait to see what you're talking about.
It's so good.
Okay, so next week, Cheaper by the Dozen. Woo! I love Steve Martin, so it's all good.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm excited.
And on that note, thank you, Divas, for listening. You can find us on social media, on our website, and on Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, at My Sister's Favorite Movie. I'm Emily. Maggie is Maggie. And we had a great time chatting about... What did we talk about?
Then.
What movie did we talk about? Now and Then.
Now and
Literally
Then.
forgot already because I'm on a Cheaper by the Dozen already. But yeah, we love you guys so much. Thank you for listening, and we'll chat with you guys next week. Now and then.
The Red Rover, sent Emily right over.